Hey guys, Roberto here, and today I've received the final Power Rangers Dino Supercharge 5-inch action figure. For the past 2 years, guys, 2015, 2016, both those years I've been collecting Power Rangers Dino Charge action figures, however you want to call them, the seasons, whether it's Dino Charge, Dino Supercharge. But these 5-inch figures from this series started coming out late fall 2014, and I got the first 5, and then I got the villains, and then it's just been a really crazy toy line for me because it was the first time that I just mass collected action figures. I've had history with collecting action figures, and I've usually just collected 2 or 3, but never have I ever just collected every single figure that's out there. And today I received the final figure in my collection. That is the original Purple Ranger. This is the male version of the Purple Ranger. If you guys have seen the show, there's actually a female version, and that's the main Purple Ranger. But this guy was named Albert. And Albert Smith was an old guy who the Rangers found, and he was the original owner of the Purple Energem. And the Rangers got it from him and all that, and eventually Albert was just too old to be a Ranger, so he gave them the Energem, and then the Rangers went back, and then crazy stuff happened, and then Kendall became the Purple Ranger, and she was a female, so the female Purple Ranger was just for the rest of the show. But yeah, this figure didn't come out in Dino Charge, which was where Albert was introduced. He never really came back for Dino Supercharge. But they released him in the final Dino Supercharge wave, and now is when we finally have Albert. And this guy's the last Dino Charge figure I'm going to be collecting because while it is a huge toy line, there's actually a lot of figures I never got. There was the Viviswords I didn't get. I didn't get some monster figures of the day. I didn't get purple Dino Super Drive or any of the Dino Super Drive figures besides just red and gold from that 6-pack from the action figures. And I also didn't get Dino Drive Aqua and Gray. Not Gray, Graphite. So I did miss out on some figures, but I still mass collected most of the toy line. And I actually set up a little display right here to show you guys all the figures that I've had over the toy line. And then after that, I'll show you guys an unboxing of this guy so we can take a look at him and put them next to the collection. And yeah, so let's go. Yeah, so right here I put every single Power Rangers Dino Charge, Dino Supercharge action figure in my collection. It first started off with just the main 5 Rangers. Obviously there's 10 Rangers in the full series, but the first 5 were red, black, blue, green, and pink. And then along the way came the Dino Drive figures, which are right here. Then came Gold Ranger and then Graphite Ranger. Here he is. And yeah, so the villain figures also came through. And yeah, there's actually some figures that were never made for the show that were actually more important than the Rangers modes. For example, we never got a Poisandra figure. And apparently Bandai of America is talking about releasing a Poisandra figure maybe this year. So we might see a Poisandra figure coming soon. We never got a Titano Charge Megazord figure. We did get the main 3 Megazords, Dino Charge, Megazord, Terra Charge, and Plazio Charge, but we never got a Titano Charge. We never got a... What was the guy's name? He was the leader of these two. If you guys saw Dino Supercharge late into the show, these two came in and they had like a leader and he looked like a Statue of Liberty. Dino Super Drive was the only mode that I didn't get that many figures for. I just got red and gold from the 6-pack. Dino Super Drive was actually very hard to find the figures. And while they did look really cool, it was actually one of my favorite modes. It was just too hard to find and I didn't really want to get them, so I ended up just getting red and gold from the 6-pack and never got the rest of the Rangers. Like I mentioned earlier, I never got Dino Drive Aqua or Graphite, so I'm missing most of the Dino Drive Rangers. Silver never got a Dino Drive mode for the figure, I guess, so that kind of sucks. In Kyuryuger, actually, there was a Armor On mode for Gold. It was like a special DVD exclusive or whatever. And Kyoryu Gold actually got like a Dino Steel mode or whatever, but they never really made a figure for that in Dino Charge. Well, he wasn't really in Dino Charge or Dino Supercharge that mode, so it's fine. Back there, I have an unopened limited edition Red Ranger. This guy was released as a Walgreens exclusive. When you went to Walgreens, you could actually find the main 5 in this color. It was like translucent. Here he is next to the normal version, and here he is. You guys can see that he's kind of translucent in the packaging. I never really opened him up because I don't really have the full team, so I just decided to keep it in the packaging just as like a keepsake. It's really just the same figure, so yeah. But I just keep him over there. And yeah, guys, so this is basically my entire Power Rangers Dino Charge, Dino Supercharge 5-inch figure collection. Alright guys, so sadly I do have to open up the figure. I really want to take him out of the box, and you know, I do want to create some scenes from Dino Charge with him. I'm not the type of collector to keep figures in the packaging. I'm not that type of guy to buy the figure just to display him in the packaging. The only reason why I had this guy in the packaging was just because I already have him, and he was literally just like a repaint or whatever, so it doesn't really matter if I had him out of the packaging. But Albert is a different figure. I never had him before. I only have his female version, which is Kendall, and that's a completely different character. But I do kind of wish I would have bought like extras of each figure, because I do like the way the figures look in the packaging. But you know, I'm not rich, so I can't really afford buying the same figure just for the packaging. But sadly, we did have to open them up. So before that, let's take a look at the packaging itself. So here's the Dino Super Drive Red Ranger, T-Rex, Power Rangers Dino Supercharged logo right here. Right here we have Albert. We can see him right there posing, and then like the figures, the weapons that he comes with are the Dino Charge Morpher and the Dino Charge Saber. A really cool promotional picture from him from the show. It says Original Purple Ranger Action Hero. On the side is an ad for the Dino Charge scanner app. On the other side is the Dino Charge logo. And then you have some random information on there and some random other information back here. And then back here shows like a really cool picture of Albert from, I guess that's Sentai footage because he looks a lot skinnier. And then his bio says, Albert Smith lived in New Zealand and runs Bigfoot Tourist Company. When he sees one of Sledge's transport pods, he posts a picture on the internet and claims it as a UFO. When the teens recognize the photo, the main team, the Power Rangers, they head to New Zealand and only discover that Albert has bonded with the Purple Energem and is the Purple Ranger. Albert eventually gives up the powers and gives the Purple Energem to the Power Rangers, and when the Power Rangers get the Energem, they go back to the United States and they give it to Kendall and I. Actually, they search for a new Purple Ranger first, and then Kendall eventually gets it like in episode 20. And down here it says collect them all, and right here you can see every single Dino Super Drive Ranger. They literally made Dino Super Drive figures for all 10. The Silver Ranger's here too. I do have this guy. Dino Super Drive figures, I would have gotten them if they weren't so hard to find. But the problem was that I already had like different modes for the Rangers, and I kind of just got tired of collecting the same Rangers over and over with just different modes. I don't know, but like there was a point where maybe in the future, like a few years later, like I might just come back and maybe try to get them all. But I'm not, you know, they really are badass modes. They look really, really cool, but just the hunt and the money, it was too hard for me. They also have the villains that I do have. I forgot his name. Is it the Candle guy, and then the Bird guy? I think it was Doomwing, and then there's actually a monster I never got. Here's I think his name was Teacher. Really, 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 you know, really good name. You know, you guys really thought it out. Teacher, and then finally it's Albert. So he's the final figure in the Power Rangers toy line. So let's just open him up already. Alright guys, so here he is out of the packaging, and he's basically a male mold of the Purple Ranger with the Purple Ranger helmet and painted purple. Basic articulation of the 5-inch action hero. You can turn the head all the way around, and this thing kind of blocks it from moving it this way, but if you guys try really hard and try to break the figure, it works. You can move the hands, you can move the arms all the way. You can't move the waist, sadly. You can move the legs, and you can do this too. So yeah, so the figure looks really cool. It's really, really cool to see a Purple Ranger that's male. I remember that Jungle Fury did have a male Purple Ranger, but I wasn't here in the United States yet technically, and I wasn't into the collecting that much. I did have Jungle Fury action figures back then, but I don't really have memory of collecting a Purple Ranger, so I don't really remember. But finally, with Kakuranger, we did get another male Purple Ranger, so that's really cool. And yeah, he looks. I just really like the like female colors on like male figures. It just looks really cool to see like a guy sporting like a feminine color. And if you guys want to pose him with his Dino Charge Saber or his Dino Charge Morpher, you can do that. He didn't really use the Dino Charge Morpher a lot, but he did use a saber to cut that thing to, I guess, have the monster or something like that. It was really interesting. You can also pose him with his Dino Charge Morpher too. So here he is. Now, if you guys want to see how he looks compared to Kendall, the female Purple Ranger, here she is. So it's actually funny because in the original Kakuranger show, in the Japanese version, they were both related. Albert's Japanese version was actually the grandfather of Kendall's Japanese version, the female Ranger. So it was really, really cool. And yeah, he passed on the powers because he was too old, and he was looking for like a new owner, I guess. But it's completely different over here in the United States. But it looks really cool that we have two different Rangers that share the same powers. So I guess we can put him like right around here. Yeah, that looks great. It's more complete. This actually looks like a Legendary War. It looks a lot better than Superman Force's Legendary War. There are actually more characters and more Rangers, which is really, really sad. But yeah, but it looks really, really cool. And I know I'm sounding dramatic over here, but that basically puts an end to an era of my life. I've been collecting these figures for like almost 2 years now. It was basically 2 years of collecting figures. And it was a very fun experience. I had a lot of fun trying to find these figures. There were times where I didn't know if I could get them. There were times where I finally got them. When Dino Drive figures came out, I went on a crazy hunt all of summer 2015, and I never found them up until like the last day of summer before school started, and I got so excited and ended up wasting all my money that I had to buy for school materials, and I ended up buying Power Ranger figures. So I was like busted on the first day of school trying to get some pen and paper. And yeah, but it was just really fun collecting these figures, and I'm not going to say I won't stop collecting them. In the future, if I ever had the chance, I might get the Dino Superdrive figures, or I might get like a monster figure I'm missing. I actually really wanted to get a Vivid Zord figure when it came out, but sadly he was just so hard to find and I never found him. And I never saw him online or anything, so it was really sad that I never got that figure. But if a Poisandra figure comes out, then I'm definitely gonna go look for that. Poisandra, Bandai has hinted that they're literally gonna release her. They released pictures of her and everything. And actually, Bruno from MPR Toys, he actually released a picture that he had like a meeting with Bandai and all that, and he posted a picture of the Poisandra figures like model or some of that. So they're hinting at releasing it soon, but hopefully it's with the Ninja Steel figures or something like that. And now, guys, before I end the video, I actually want to talk about Super Sentai DVDs. These past few days, I've been watching Super Sentai, and thanks to Shout Factory, this really amazing company who releases movies and DVDs, they've actually subtitled Ohranger, Ranger, and Kakuranger, and Ohranger, Super Sentai's from the 90s, and they've actually, it's so cool that Super Sentai is finally on DVD. I got Kakuranger and Ohranger for Christmas of last year, 2016. And I never got Ranger and Ranger. Hopefully I'm getting those maybe next month when I can afford them. But these series are amazing. I'm actually watching Kakuranger right now. I'm almost done with it. I'm actually on disc 10. And then it's just an amazing show. It's really cool to watch Super Sentai. This show that just a few years ago, back in 2013, when I was around I was just new to collecting Power Ranger toys, I had to watch the show online, and it was such a pain in the butt to find like episodes subtitled. Ohranger wasn't even around yet. Like you couldn't even find like the first 2 episodes. So finally, Shout Factory made a deal back like in, I think like 2015. They released Ohranger first, and I actually knew about it the entire time, but I never really got to afford it up until now. But finally, I was able to afford it, and let me tell you, you heard it here, folks. Even though people have already talked about this thing, it's amazing. Buy it. If you want Super Sentai and you want more releases like Go Kaiger, Go Sager, I want Time Ranger, the complete series. So they continue releasing these and they get to Time Ranger, I'm gonna die peacefully. But yeah, the show's really good, and Super Sentai, it's definitely something to watch. It's the original source material for Power Rangers. And yeah, I think that's enough for Emily for today. So yeah, I do have a link in the description below if you guys want to check out these DVDs and buy them. They're actually on Shout Factory and Amazon.com too, so I have both links below. I'm actually doing a lot of stuff today. I'm actually filming for the Power Ranger movie figures. They're somewhere. They're actually in my closet. Yeah, I had them in storage right now. But I'm actually going to start filming the review for those figures maybe later today. The Power Rangers movie Megazord, it's the review's done. I just have to upload it soon. It's coming out soon with the intro and all that. So yeah, and yeah. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. And this is Roberto from Ranger Mania, signing out.